So today we are challenging ourselves to describe every team's offseason strength and weakness in 1 minute from A to Z. Ansh, let's start it off. I'm going to start the timer. You can start it off with the Arizona Cardinals. Ready? Three, two, one.
Starting off, we have the Arizona Cardinals, and I would say their main offseason move this season was trading away David Johnson in second for D-Hop, probably one of the better moves of the offseason. And their main strength is probably now going to be their receiving core in their offense, but they do have a good linebacking and safety too in Buddy Baker and Chandler Jones. That should also do well. Another notable addition, they drafted Isaiah Simmons, who should be quite a good linebacker, come on and start aside Chandler Jones. But could also play other positions as he is Isaiah Simmons.
You did that in 46 seconds. Next up, we have
the Atlanta Falcons. Oh yeah, I'll challenge you on this one.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yup.
3, 2, 1, and you can't see the timer.
Nope, I can't see the timer.
So, let's try this. If I just go like this.
Yep, that works. You want to put it on the south like that. All right. So, the Falcons had a pretty underrated offseason. I think the biggest move for them was picking up Todd Gurley in free agency after releasing Devontae Freeman. They traded a second-round pick to the Ravens for Hayden Hurst, who's a pretty solid tight end. They traded a pick to the Dolphins for defensive end Charles Harris. And they picked up Dante Fowler Jr. in free agency. Their draft was okay, didn't have a pretty good draft. I think their strength is basically just their offense, their entire offense, an emerging defense, and I think their weakness is probably secondary.
And just a notable addition on the offense, they have 10 out of 11 of their starters are first-round picks, so they for sure have a lot of talent over there.
Yep.
And we did it this time in 50 seconds. Impressive.
You know what, Ansh? I'm going to challenge you to the Baltimore Ravens.
This should be kind of hard. Ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
So the Baltimore Ravens were probably regarded as one of the most solid teams this season, and if any of their starters were to get coronavirus, I can see them being easily recouped from that. Just an example, we have let's say Lamar Jackson happens to get coronavirus. He's quarantined for like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks he can play. We have RG3 and they drafted another quarterback. But those two should, and they both have the same skill set as Lamar Jackson, so they should be able to do it. This free agency, I think they picked up 5th round pick for traded 5th round pick to the Jags for Calais Campbell, and along with that, they also do. Yeah, that was their main offseason move. Their main strength, I would say, is their rushing game. It's they led the league with that, and I would say their main weakness is hard. They pretty much don't have a weakness, but the main thing is nothing.
You did that overtime, buddy.
I failed.
What, a minute and 2 seconds.
Just follow up. What is the weakness on the Ravens team?
Their weakness is not having a weakness.
But literally, they have a good on their defense. They have a good secondary. Well, I think it might be their
secondary.
I think their weakness might be their wide receiver core.
Still good core though.
Still a good core, but I think that might be the weakness. With Willie Snead and Marquise Brown, but I would say that is probably their weakness.
Okay.
Now it's time for me to challenge you again, Arya. Ready? You're going to have to talk about the Buffalo Bills in 1 minute.
All right.
3, 2, 1, and go.
This one should be pretty easy. They traded for Stephon Diggs. I think their strength is their defense, which I consider elite. Their weakness is, in my opinion, it's Josh Allen. He has to be better, has to get better accuracy, and I think they are a Super Bowl contention team.
Hey, that was a bit too quick. Wait, exactly 25 seconds.
25 seconds. Let's go.
Okay, let's get quick here. But are you sure Josh Allen is really the weakness?
What else is there? I think Josh Allen is their weakness because he's not the most accurate guy.
Yeah, I can see you saying that.
And with the receivers he has, which two of them made the Pro Bowl last season, Stephon Diggs and the other guy who wore number 18.
Wait, really? John Brown made the Pro Bowl?
No, the other guy.
I don't think they had anyone else. That's where they talked to Cole Beasley, no, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure he had 2 Pro Bowl receivers though.
No, I don't think so. For sure not. He had 0.
No, including Stephon Diggs.
Including Stephon, like 1.
Okay, he had 1 or 2. I'm pretty sure it was 2, but I'm going to just say he has 1 Pro Bowl receiver, and he has to get the ball to him. Otherwise, I don't know what he's going to do.
And other than that, I would actually say might be in their running game. I'm not too high on Devin Singletary, so that's probably why.
And they lost the Hall of Fame running back in Frank Gore.
Yeah.
Okay, Ansh, I'm going to challenge you to cover the Carolina Panthers in 1 minute. 2, 1, go.
So the Carolina Panthers, I would say their largest offseason move this season might be the deal they gave to CMC, making him the highest paid running back ever. And what else? They drafted Derek Brown with the 7th overall pick. Probably, I would say, wasn't the best player. He's not really that great in my opinion, and he's probably the second best rusher in the draft to Javon Kinlaw, in my opinion. I would say their main strength in this case is CMC because he's CMC in their ultimate rushing game. And their weakness is, at the moment, I'm going to say quarterback. They just traded away. Yeah. I don't think they should do too well this year without like a solid quarterback.
55 seconds, and I think you forgot to have Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, yeah, they got Teddy. I thought they still had Kyle Allen.
They traded away Kyle Allen.
They traded away Kyle Allen, so honestly, it might not be Teddy Bridgewater anymore because he's honestly one of the better quarterbacks. But
I want to say it's their linebackers or secondary.
Oh, linebackers, I can for sure see that. After Luke Kuechly retired, Luke Kuechly was pretty much a linebacking core, so.
Yeah. And I don't know. What is their secondary?
Cannot say. Eric Reed, one of the better members, recently was not signed.
And their D-line isn't even that great.
Yeah. So like I say, their whole defense might be a weakness there.
Yeah.
Defense, they're a solid-ish O-line, other than like up-and-coming receivers. So, yeah. I would say their offense is like really, really rising up, but their defense is towards the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, Arya, it's your turn. Yep. I'm challenging you to do the Bears in 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. So they traded for Nick Foles. I think they could have gotten Foles for free. And their draft, nothing to speak about really. They have a backup option for Mitch Trubisky now, and I think they're a dark horse Super Bowl team. That's about it.
Strengths and weaknesses.
Right. Strengths, I'm gonna say. Actually, I think the defense is the strength. The offense is up there too. Weakness, I'm gonna say it's quarterback.
That was quick. Okay. Right next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals.
let's rephrase that. You have the Cincinnati Bengals.
Hey, let's see how this goes.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Give me a sec. I said, give me a sec.
Oh.
I got. I disconnected. I was disconnecting from my monitor.
Oof. Imagine
Okay.
disconnecting from your monitor. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
So the Cincinnati Bengals, I would say probably their most notable additions was getting the Vikings players Mackenzie Alexander and Troy Waynes to their secondary to become a bit more solid compared to what they were before. As they lost Darky's Gunnergan, which was probably upwards trend in that sense. They also drafted Joe Burrow with the #1 overall pick, which it's meh, I would say. He may or may not be able to continue what he did in his season at LSU. Might have been because most of the defenders was focusing on Clyde the Glide. And other than that, I would say Tua might be really a better quarterback. And okay, so their weakness, it's just being unproven. They have a bunch of pieces, but they're just unproven at the moment. And their strength at the moment, I'm just going to give it to their running back core. Joe Mixon and Gio Bernard. Probably among the most underrated, but yeah, their running back is super underrated, but it's probably the best thing on that team at the moment.
I could say the receiving core is up there too in their front 7.
Yeah, I can see that, especially after they got DJ Reader pair up with Geno Atkins.
Mm-hmm. And I personally think Tyler Boyd is the best receiver on that team.
Really? Oh. And just personally, I thought Gio Bernard and Joe Mixon are sometimes like extremely underevaluated.
I think Joe Mixon is really undervalued.
Yeah, and like a bit underrated. Like Gio Bernard, he was actually quite good when Joe Mixon was injured a bit back.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from.
Now, Arya, It's your turn.
It is my turn.
I challenge you to take care of the Cleveland Browns in 1 minute. Ready?
Okay.
Set, go. Where's the button? There.
The Browns traded for Jack Conklin. They drafted Jedrick Wills, so their offensive line should be pretty good now. I don't think Baker Mayfield is going to get sacked as much. They have a great receiving core in Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. They have great tight ends, Austin Hooper, David Njoku, an amazing running back in Nick Chubb, and an amazing running back, too, in Kareem Hunt. They have a really, really good defense, which includes Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. And I think their strength is their entire offense, and their weakness is probably their secondary.
Another quick finish. 35 seconds.
I think I'm pretty good at these.
Yeah, I would say go a bit more into the weakness at the moment because you were saying with the secondary.
Because mostly their secondaries.
Yeah, I can see. I would say except for Denzel Ward, who's like an okay player. I don't think anyone else is really up there to prove themselves.
I think Denzel Ward is pretty good.
He's pretty good, but I don't think there's anyone else on that team, on their secondary. Oh.
Yeah, that's why I said secondary.
Yeah.
Okay, Anj, now you got probably the most exciting team to watch next year. One of the most exciting teams to watch next year in the Dallas Cowboys. It's a lot to cover. I'm pretty sure you can do it in 1 minute. And if you go 10 seconds over, I'll give you 15 seconds over.
Okay, cool.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
So the Dallas Cowboys, starting off, they were able to get one of the biggest steals in the draft by getting CD Lamb at pick 17. That was one of the better picks, I would say. They also re-signed their current #1 receiver in Amari Cooper, $20 million deal. I would say it's overpaid. And they also signed Everton Griffin for an extremely cheap deal. And one of the better players, I would say. Okay, their strength. No receivers. What are you asking me to talk about there? You got Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. I don't think you can go better than that. Weakness. Let's see. Secondary. I don't feel anything too notable about their secondary at the moment. Linebacking core can improve after a down season last year with Landon Menderes and Jalen Smith not producing at their best.
You actually got 52 seconds on that.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are going to be one of the most electric teams to watch next year. I want to see that receiving core really bad. And Mike McCarthy released a statement just an hour or two ago saying he is very, very high on Dak Prescott.
That is okay. Well, let's see what Mike McCarthy can bring out in Dak.
If Mike McCarthy can bring something out in Dak, I think Dallas might win the Super Bowl for the next couple of years. I'm not even joking about that. When I say the Cowboys might win the Super Bowl this year, I'm not joking.
Okay, and next
Wait. Quick plug here. Talking about Super Bowl and who's going to win it, you should go watch our schedule video.
Yeah, right before where we predicted the whole season and predict their Super Bowl. Find out who won the Super Bowl in the last or whenever that was episode.
It's not the Kansas City Chiefs.
May or may not be no one.
Okay, let's move on.
Cool. So, Arya, I challenge you to do the Broncos, one of the better teams that got a bit of improvements this season, in 1 minute. Ready, set, go. I think so. I'm hitting it, right?
Nope. Yeah, you got it. Okay. So, they got a steal in Jarrell Casey for only a 7th-round pick. They got AJ Bouye. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty cheap deal. They somehow drafted Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler in the draft. Von Miller should come back to that form, and Bradley Chubb is no longer injured. He attended training camp. Drew Lock has a lot of weapons, including breakout star Noah Fant and Cortland Sutton. Justin Simmons is really good in that secondary, including AJ Bouye now. Losing Chris Harris is going to hurt a little bit. I say their strength is their every receiver they have, including tight ends and running backs. And I think their weakness is an unproven young secondary.
That was 49 seconds and 75 milliseconds. Quite good.
Solid.
Let's continue on.
Let's continue. Anch, I'm giving you the best team in the NFL, the most historically proven team, a team that everybody loves and cherishes in their heart.
Really?
The Detroit Lions. You have a minute to talk about the Detroit Lions. Off-season move, drafts, and strengths and weaknesses. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Why don't you even talk about this? You're pretty much no one. Let's study about it. Their main off-season deal was getting Desmond Trufant to replace Darius Slay, probably one of the worst replacements ever for Darius Slay possible. And after that, they drafted Jeff Okuda, who might help out. But other than that, nothing too notable in their off-season additions. After that, let's see, their strength. Pretty much no one except for Matt Stafford.
Literally. Kenny Golladay.
Well, Kenny Golladay. Their receiving core, I would say, in general. You got Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones to lead it off. I would say the quarterback and the receiving core has a good tandem there. And their weakness, everything else, especially the defense. I don't know how they're really pretty. They just everything.
Bam. Couldn't agree with you more on that one. By the way, if you didn't get the sarcasm for the Detroit Lions intro, then I'm very sorry for you.
Even if you're a Detroit Lions fan, you should have understood that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think it's my turn now.
Yep. Let's see. The home of the team of who you say has the best wide receiver in the league, even though they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Let's start it off with the Green Bay Packers.
You might want to hit the start button.
There.
All right, so the Green Bay Packers, I think they're a pretty good team. I love their defense. I love that defense. In their offseason, They did nothing except sign Devin Funches. I think their draft was. Okay, I'm one person that says their draft is good. Okay, because I think they don't want to build around Aaron Rodgers. They want to build around the ground game. So they send a blocking tight end, a running back, a brand new quarterback, and a lot of offensive line pieces. And their strength, they have the best quarterback and the best receiver in the league. That's gonna help a lot. Their defense, they have arguably the best linebacker core. They have pretty great young secondary, even with a little bit of inconsistency. And I think the Packers will go 9-7.
9-7. Are you sure 9-7?
Oh, sorry, I think I'm at 7-9.
7 and maybe a bit too high, but let's see.
A little
Maybe.
too high. Actually, before we move on and anything, let's see what the Packers' record was, which you can also get in our schedule video. We had them at 7-9.
We did?
Yeah, we did have them at 7.
Okay, cool. So they were actually a 7-9 team. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's continue it on.
Let's see what you got on. Ooh, the best offseason movers in the history of the NFL. We got the Houston Texans. We got 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, go.
They pretty much did like the most negative damage they could to help Deshaun Watson grow. Literally trading for Brandon Cooks and getting David Johnson is absolutely useless when you give away DeAndre Hopkins. It's DeAndre Hopkins. He's the actual number 1 best receiver in the league.
It's debatable.
And right after that, what else am I to say? Their strength, let's think. Their strength is their quarterbacking, D-Walk. He's among the best in the league. And their weakness. I wonder who it could be. Bill O'Brien. Like you say it that way, Bill O'Brien. Everything that he does is weakness.
I agree, and he got that in 51 seconds. Bro, who's calling me in the middle of a podcast? You know,
This is illegal. And they must be fined. You must call them and keep them on speaker. Or you keep them on speaker.
Oh, I'm recording a podcast right now.
When I didn't pause
no,
it.
it's fine. I'll call you back later, okay?
When I don't pause the recording, are you?
Oh, I can come over later.
Yeah, not right now. Sorry, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right, see ya. Bye.
I did not pause the recording.
Excuse the little intermission there. That was my friend asking if I wanted to play basketball.
This is a football podcast, not basketball.
And also, going back to what we were actually doing, I agree with you on the Houston Texans part. I think the only reason they're not in Super Bowl contention anymore is because of Mr. O'Brien.
Okay, now let's start off with one. Okay.
I have a friend who's a Cardinals fan, and what he did, you know how you can order custom jerseys in the NFL? He ordered a custom Cardinals jersey that says O'Brien on the back because he was so happy with Bill O'Brien.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
and
so
right after that, let's move on to what I would say is the third best team in the AFC.
I agree with that.
The Indianapolis Colts. Ready, set, go.
They stole DeForest Buckner from my beloved San Francisco 49ers, giving up a first-round pick. They had a good. I think Michael Pittman was an underrated receiver that they drafted. Actually, I think Michael Pittman's pretty good. I like T.Y. Hilton. I love Phillip Rivers behind a good O-line, including Quentin Nelson. So their offseason wasn't too crazy. Their draft wasn't too crazy either. Strength. I'm just gonna. How do I pick a strength on that team? I'm gonna say O-line. I'm gonna say O-line is their strength. It's the number 1 O-line, I think, and their weakness is just because they're young and unproven. I'm going to say it's the secondary. Just because they're super, super young, it's very, very unstable, but it could very well be the receiving core. pause the timer. You're giving me overtime.
I paused it.
Wait, good.
Okay, let's continue on that. I would honestly agree with you saying that their secondary might be their weakness. They're slightly young, and Malik Hooker is kind of like the main veteran in that area. Other than that, they're like kind of solid on the team, and their offensive line should be proven to be among the best. Quentin Nelson and Anthony Costanzo.
And think of what Phillip Rivers can do behind a good O-line.
Think about it.
Oh, okay, Anj. One of the most prominent teams this year. We have them winning the Super Bowl. We have them. I think they could win the Super Bowl this year. They're definitely not going. They're going to go 16-0. Backwards. Okay, whatever. Okay. You have 1 minute to cover the Jacksonville Jaguars. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's wait till it's 30 seconds. Because I don't have too much to talk.
All right. Bum ba-dum bum. Bum ba-dum bum. What are these notifications? All right. Bum ba-dum bum. Bum ba-dum bum. Okay.
All they did was sign Joe Gilbert, and I don't think that's really too much of anything. Their main weakness is trading everyone away, but it makes sense, and they're gaining something for the future. And I would say at the moment, their strength is maybe their quarterback, receiver combo, and DJ Chark and Minshew, both young.
Hey, you did it in like 24 seconds.
I don't think I need to talk too much.
And I agree with all of that. I think trading away everything is not bad. But they are the worst team in Florida.
Who are the other teams? Oh yeah, they are the worst team in Florida. And now to join them would probably now the actual one of the best teams in the league. The Chiefs. You have 1 minute to take care of them. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so they signed Mahomes to a $500 million contract. They signed Chris Jones to an $85 million contract. They signed Travis Kelce to a $57 million contract. Oh my God, where's this money coming from? They drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They don't have a weakness. I don't think they have. I'm just gonna say running back, and their strength is they have Patrick Mahomes. Okay, yeah, that's good.
26 seconds.
I'll take it.
Well, what would you really say is their actually weakness there?
I'm just gonna say running back, honestly.
Really?
Damian Williams opted out. They traded away Shady.
I would go cornerback actually.
I mean, but their corners weren't as bad as 2018.
They weren't as bad, but we could easily see them regress to 2018 form.
Yeah, it can be anywhere from running back to corner. But if Clyde Edwards-Helaire can do what he's projected to do, I think the Chiefs are fine. In my opinion, this team is going to be the most fun to watch. I think it's either a boom or bust this year. The Los Angeles Chargers, the best team in LA. Okay, 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's think about this. So we had the Joey Bosa contract where he became the most guaranteed money he got for a young quarterback. That was nice. He also was one of the better players, so he deserved that. They drafted Justin Herbert and Kenneth Murray. Kenneth Murray, I would say, is extremely underrated pairing with Derwin James. Now, I think, yeah. And other than that, they're generally a solid team. I'm giving their strength to their D-line with Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa. And their weakness. At the moment, I'm giving it to quarterback because it's Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is a developmental guy, so we don't know how long it's going to take him. Tyrod Taylor is what they got here. He's a solid guy. You can run with a good team with him.
I think you forgot that they signed Chris Harris Jr.
Oh, yeah, they did sign Chris Harris from the Broncos, yeah.
And paired with Desmond King, I personally think they have the best secondary in the league, even though it's unproven. I see where you're going with D-line, and I agree with quarterback being their weakness. I think they have a very, very underrated receiver pair. They have a pretty solid tight end in Hunter Henry. I think they're a good team.
And next up, now for you for the other LA team with the Rams. If you want to watch these two teams, go to Hard Knocks. I think the other episode just released yesterday.
I think so.
Yeah. 3, whenever. If you can see the phone.
Yeah. I'm just gonna wait a little bit. This is pretty easy. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till, you know what? This is gonna be weird. I'm gonna wait till the 45-second mark.
Wait, really? You can do this in 15 seconds?
I can do it in 15 seconds.
What? You're kidding me.
I can do it in 15 seconds. You know, how much do you want to bet I can do it in 15 seconds?
I'll bet against you for sure, because how are you gonna just clarify all this in 15?
Wait, I can't see the time. I can't see the time. Okay. I can do it in 15. I can do it in 15.
I don't think so.
I can. Just trust me. Offseason traded away everybody. Draft Cam Akers. Strength, I'm going to give it to their receivers and Aaron Donald, which is to the D-line. And their weakness, I am going to give it to the contracts and the team management. Did it. Let's go.
Literally, like 59 seconds in. Just there.
I'm telling you, the Rams are the easy one. They don't really...
What plays did they really get rid of? Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, Corey Littleton,
Fowler,
Dante Fowler.
Yeah. The trade away Cooks didn't go. Okay. Next up we have a very, very exciting team. I don't think they're gonna do too much because they're brand new, but I think watching the players form their chemistry is gonna be interesting. We got the Miami Dolphins. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, okay, this is hard to be on the spot, but I'm gonna say their main free agent signing this year was Byron Jones, and they traded for Matt Breida during the draft. Kind of underrated. Matt Breida was one of the fastest guys in the NFL this year, and should help out the running back core. They also drafted Tua with the 5th pick. Probably not playing this year as Ryan Fitzpatrick starts, but still should be pretty good. What else? I'm gonna just start off with their weakness. Their strength is easily their secondary by quite a bit. Their cornerbacks are just too good. You have like two of the league's top best and number 1 and number 2, and then number 3 you probably have like the best number 3 cornerback in the league. And after that, you then get their weakness. What is their weakness? I'm just gonna say being like a bit too young. I would say they do have some weapons in there, and it's also a lack of coaching talent. I realized I went over.
Coaching talent? Brian Flores.
Oh yeah, never mind. Adam Gase is on a different team now.
Right.
Adam Gase, still, you suck.
You went 6.8 seconds over.
That's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
I would say their real weakness might be like on the Dolphins. Maybe a good. Well, they have an okay D line, so they have good receivers, a good quarterback, maybe an O line.
They have a very, very speedy offense, if you realize.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. Who
Now,
do I have?
You got the Minnesota Vikings. Let's see how this goes. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1.
Offseason, they got rid of Diggs. They gave a contract to a brand new kicker, and they got rid of Everson Griffin. They didn't re-sign him for some reason. They drafted Justin Jefferson in the draft, which I like a lot. Their strength, I'm going to give it to their defense here. I'm gonna say their defense is very, very strong, including the best safety duo in the NFL in Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris. Their weakness. Let's give that to. How about? Huh? What's their weakness really? Let's give it to corners. I'm gonna give it to corners.
I didn't see what you're saying after they traded them away to the
Yeah.
Bengals. And just clarifying, wasn't Harrison Smith a linebacker?
No, he's a safety.
Really? Okay, I think I might be pretty sure on that. Let me.
Yep, Harrison Smith is a free safety or a strong safety, one of those two.
Yeah, because I'm not that sure on. Yeah, he's a safety. Got him right.
I love Anthony
Safety.
Harris. I like Anthony Harris. He's really, really good.
Don't confuse him with Anthony Barr, an actual linebacker.
Okay, Ansh has to do the New England Patriots. Ooh. You got 1 minute. 3, 2, 1.
So New England Patriots' main thing they did this offseason was like make Brady going free agency, and Bucks picked him up, and then after that, what else? They signed up Cam Newton recently, probably one of the better moves for Patriots. I doubt anything is gonna happen with Stidham. And other than that, their main strength at the moment, let's see, defense, and especially Stephon Gilmore, current defensive player of the year, and their weakness. I'm gonna get back to the. They always seem to like pull it away somehow. Like no matter what we call their weakness, it's just never that. So let me say for now it's gonna be their D line, but it's probably not gonna be that.
Yeah. You could say receivers too.
Yeah, you could say that. But I feel like their receiving core is like proven us to be better than we think way too many times.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one ever expected Chris Hogan or who else?
On a side note, the Celtics beat the 76ers again.
Why are we talking about basketball now?
Whatever. Okay. Moving on.
Hey, let's move on to one of the more consistent teams in the league, the New Orleans Saints. Ready? Got a minute. 3, 2, 1.
They're a pretty good team. They have a Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees, an amazing O-line. They also drafted Cesar Ruiz. They got a true number 2 receiver in Emmanuel Sanders. They have the 4th best receiver in the league in Michael Thomas. They have a really good running game. Their defense is amazing. I love Cameron Jordan on the D-line. I think Marshawn Lattimore is good, but he's kind of overrated. They have a good linebacking core. And yeah, I mean, the strength I'm going to say is, how do I pick one? It's their whole team. And their weakness, I'm just going to say it's safeties. I don't think they have the crazy talented safeties, but they have pretty solid safeties. Well, actually, I'm going to give their strength to Sean Payton. I'm going to say that's their strength, Sean Payton.
Interesting strength pick. Especially because Sean Payton, like, if you just consider in general, I personally might have given it to the O-line or the receiving core. But, like,
I think Sean Payton.
Sean Payton is kind of like the person that pulls it all together, so I can see where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they have, like, the 4th best receiver in the league, too, so it's pretty good.
The 4th best receiver, and they just got, like, number 2, like you said, Emmanuel Sanders. And
by the way, let me just quickly tell you these are the top 4 receivers in the league, okay? Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, and then Michael Thomas.
No, never. Devontae Adams is number 3. Hopkins is number 1, then Jones, then Well, this season specifically, if we're going other than that, Jones is over Hopkins. But that's the only difference. Uh, so Adams is number 3.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, you have 1 minute to cover. I don't know, the most problematic but unproblematic team in the NFL, in the New York Giants. Ready? Go.
Hey, New York Giants, nice signing Joe Judge. He seems to be like a good guy so far. I was just reading this up. He actually made like the coaches run laps when they made a mistake, so he seems like a hardcore guy. Hey, they signed Marcus Golden, a good D lineman, and then drafted Andrew Thomas to fix their O line slightly after drafting Nick Solder, I think, is on their team. Or is that the Jets? Their strength at the moment is their running back and Saquon Barkley. Their weakness is mainly their defense, who's a bit too young and kind of they're all over the place, and we never know what happens from DeAndre Baker.
43 seconds.
Cool. And now, like, handing back off to the other New York team, the Jets. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Let's hope I hit it.
They somehow let Jamal Adams walk in the offseason. They got rid of their number 1 receiver, Robbie Anderson. I don't know what the Jets are doing at this point. They're not helping Sam Darnold. In the draft, they did get Mekhi Becton. I mean, it's good at trying to fix. Oh, who's he going to throw to? Just Jamison Crowder. Their strength, I'm going to say, is the quarterback. I'm going to say that's their strength. I love Sam Darnold. I think he's a really good quarterback. And I think their weakness is the rest of the team.
Just saying, they also got Brashad Perriman from the Bucks.
Oh, right, they did.
Yeah, and I never even realized. Why were you so high on Sam Darnold?
No, I just think. See, I want Sam Darnold to get traded to a team that actually can give him stuff. Like, I felt like maybe the Bears should have tried to get Sam Darnold instead of Nick Foles. Give Sam Darnold that O-line, that receiver core, that those running backs, that defense. I think they're set.
Really? It's strange to kind of hear for the first time. I would have never thought of their quarterback being the strength of that team.
I think it is.
Honestly, because they don't really have too much there. I might have actually been just giving it to their running backs and Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore now. But other than that, I don't really see too much any other players that's too notable. But yeah.
No, I like Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I can see one. And now,
you got to do a very, very interesting team, the Oakland Raiders. 3, 2, 1.
So the Oakland Raiders were mildly there in this offseason. They kind of revamped their linebacking core and got Nick Kwiatkowski and got Corey Middleton, one of the better players, I would say, from the Rams team that got traded, and also signed Nelson Aguilar. Wink, wink. Terrible receiver. And after that, they also got Marcus Mariota from the Titans and signed him to like an highly incentive deal. And not really too much at the beginning, probably because depending on how he plays and how he performs, depending on what Derek Carr does, and also Jeffrey Henry Ruggs, one of the fastest receivers in the league. Their strength, I would say, at the moment is John Gruden, because he's like an amazing coach. And their weakness, I'm gonna give it to their D-line.
I would have given it to their secondary because they have Max Crosby now.
Yeah, I see why you're saying that, but I just don't. I feel like that secondary, they might have enough to improve because they set the bar so low. But like on the D line, all you had was Mad Max Crosby. That was their main contributor, and I don't think he'll produce as much as he did last year.
Yeah.
So I think that might become their weakness. Now it's your turn. Let's kick it off with the Eagles. The first team from Pennsylvania. Ready, set, go.
Okay, so they signed Darius Slay, which completely overturns the Cowboys signing Amari Cooper again. They traded for Marquise Goodwin, but sadly he opted out because he has a newborn baby, and they drafted Jalen Rigor. I think Jalen Rigor can be pretty good. Their strengths, I'm gonna say it's their lines. Their lines are strong, and their weakness, receiving core.
Oh yeah, I can for sure agree that their receiving core is their weakness at the moment. After Marquise Goodwin opted out, even last season they didn't have great depth at all.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how much it's gonna hurt, but they did lose Aguilar.
I think he was just needing depth for them.
Mm-hmm. So next up, we are going to do the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the most historically prominent franchises in the history of the league. Aren't you have 1 minute? 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so main thing they did this offseason, I would say, was franchise tagging Bud Dupree. But other than that, nothing too much. I would say their main strength this season was their D line because their D line is just nice. Casey Hayward, TJ Watt, you got the point. And right after that, well, maybe their safety too with Minka Fitzpatrick. But Joe Hayden is also a kind of a solid cornerback. Other than that, what else? Their weakness at the moment, let's see. I want to say receiving core.
Okay.
The only reason I'm giving it to the receiving core is because I do not at all believe in Deontay Johnson. Or
he was really good last season.
yeah, but like I don't really. That was DeAndre Washington.
No, the rookie did good too.
Yeah, but I don't expect him to do too well next season. I just feel like he's just being overhyped in general.
I think Juju's gonna bounce back.
Yeah, Juju's gonna bounce back, and I expect him to have a good one. I just don't believe in the rest of their receiving core except for Juju. I trust Juju, but no one else.
Not even Washington. Not even Washington.
I'm okay with. He's like a meh receiver in my opinion, but I don't think he's really gotten like his enough full snaps to like. So far last season, he didn't get too many snaps, so you really couldn't tell his like what he really was.
Yeah, but the snaps that he did get was pretty good.
He was good on the snaps he played, but that could be his like quickness on like the snaps and not getting enough snaps to be tired.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my turn.
Let's get it on to Niners. Ready, set, zoom.
Okay, so they traded away DeForest Buckner for a first-round pick, but with that, they drafted Javon Kinlaw, who I'm really high on. They also drafted Brandon Ayuk in that draft, which I think is going to be really helpful for the Niners receiving core. They re-signed Eric Armstead to an $85 million contract. They re-signed George Kittle to a $75 million contract. They signed Jordan Reed, Trent Williams, and an array of receivers. And today, I'm pretty sure they signed they either signed it was a corner or a receiver.
It was Jaron Brown, receiver for the
it was a receiver. They're working out safeties and corners, and they're working out more receivers, I think. And the strength I'm gonna give it to their entire defense, and their weakness I'm gonna give it to our receiving.
Just in general, I'm just gonna say what are the chances you think like Dez is gonna get signed to the Niners?
Not very high.
Why?
The Ravens worked him out yesterday.
They worked him out yesterday, but if he decides to not sign with the Ravens, would you say that Niners are his next most ideal option?
He wants to go to the Cowboys, but the Cowboys won't sign him because of receivers. So yeah, that's it.
Because he's almost a perfect fit. And that's when they go to a competitive team, and that's exactly what the Niners are.
Okay, next up. Ooh, a very, very weird team that I don't like for personal reasons. Never mind, I'm a Niners fan, so I don't like them. But we got the Seattle Seahawks. You got 1 minute to cover it. 3, 2, 1, go.
The main thing was that they traded for Jamal Adams with 2 first-round picks and Bradley McDougald. Let's see what else. They probably one of the worst drafts in my opinion. Drafting Jordan Brooks in the first round, terrible idea. Strength, I would say at the moment, either they're probably linebackers. I would say at the moment, with probably their best in the league with Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright. And their weakness at the moment, honestly, I have too many things to point out, but offensive line and defensive line, I would say that's a clear weakness.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you didn't give the strength to Russell Wilson.
Because I would say that Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson are like the best foundational pieces the Seahawks have at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I would guess
that receiving core might become the strength too.
maybe.
DK might turn into something.
Yeah, DK and Tyler is a good combination so far.
Mm-hmm. Tyler gets slept on, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, we got Tampa Bay. One of the more active teams. Let's see if you can do one. If you can't, I'll just give you 1 minute 15.
Mm-hmm.
Ready, set, go.
They had an immense offseason in signing Tom Brady in free agency. Some of the Patriots let him walk. They pulled Robert Gronkowski out of retirement because he wanted to play with Brady. They drafted Tristan Wirfs, which I like a lot. I'm kind of concerned about them getting rid of their number 3 receiver because I actually kind of liked him. He was pretty good. The running back situation is not the best, so I'm gonna say that's their weakness. Or I'm gonna say running back and secondary is tied for weakness. And their strengths, I'm gonna give it to their receiving core, including tight ends.
It's interesting that you say including tight ends. I would actually disagree if you said including tight ends. I feel like Gronk might be a bit like overvalued.
I'm not talking about Gronk.
OJ Howard. Well, I'm not really expecting too much from him, so.
I'm okay. I said receiving core, including them. Like they're gonna provide some value.
Yeah, they're gonna provide some value, but I would agree with just the receiving core too.
Insane receiving core.
Even if you just give me Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, that's already too good of a receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care if I have Nelson Aguilar on my team. That is the best receiving core.
Okay, next up, we got one of the most electric teams to watch last season. Because the entire team broke out, kind of. We have Tennessee Titans. 3, 2, 1, go.
Main thing that happened off season for them was Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry signing deals. I would say Ryan Tannehill was kind of amazing last season, so I don't expect him to replicate it at all because he happened to have, like, in the postseason, the best quarterback rating of everyone. And this includes Mahomes and Jackson.
Yeah.
And other than that, let's see. I would say their main strength is their running back, Derrick Henry. A.J. Brown's not there yet. Call him a full strength of the team, but he's getting there. And right after that, their weakness. At the moment, I'm gonna say they're quite solid, but I'm gonna give it to their receiving core. Because their defense is extremely solid, but on their offensive side of the ball, everyone's pretty good except for their receiving core. I don't think they really have anyone that great except for A.J. Brown.
You went a little bit over. That's okay. Wait, who's the other receiver they have? Number 84.
84? I thought the reason why
I don't think they have him anymore. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent.
Yeah, I thought it was Delaney Walker is their tight end. So.
Yeah.
I didn't think that they had anyone else. So 82 is Delaney Walker.
Yeah, 84 is in free agency, and he's rumored to be signing with the Niners soon.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be. Yeah, that was supposed to be Delaney Walker at 82.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on. Last team.
Oh.
Uh,
The Washington football team, not the Redskins. Okay, let's continue.
you know what? Okay. You know what? Let's give a full rundown of this team quickly. Actually, you know what? No, never mind. They're not important. Let's go. Let's do it.
Ready? You got 1 minute. 3, 2, 1. Let's hope I hit it.
They got caught up in so much offseason insane. They had to go up a complete rebrand. They had to. They lost a lot of power this offseason. They hired Ron Rivera. They traded for Kyle Allen. They cut Darius Geis because of what he's done off the field. Alex Smith is returning, which is very, very cool. They drafted Chase Young, one of the best defensive prospects of our I'm going to include 2020 in the decade just because I'm just going to say that. So of the past decade, he's one of the best defensive prospects. Their strength, I'm going to give it to front 7. That's their strength. And their weakness, I'm going to say the organization.
Okay, let's pause there for a second. This including the whole organization. What would you give as their weakness on the actual between the players?
Either secondary, O-line, or quarterback.
Oh, interesting. I would have actually given it to wide receiver.
Nah.
We just have Terry McLaurin and pretty much no one else. We just have Scary Terry.
But their O-line isn't anything anymore. The
Yeah,
secondary is garbage.
Yeah, I see what you're saying over there. They pretty much have no one in those positions, while they have at least Terry McLaurin as a receiver. So I can see what you're saying.
It's kind of like Green Bay where they have Devontae Adams and basically no one else. You know.
Well, they got some guys coming up like Alan Lazard and Demetrius something.
Yeah.
It started with B and he had 2 names at the end. That's what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was our rundown of the 32 teams in the league.
Yeah, it was like a shot clock style episode, you know.
Shot clock episode. Yeah.
And okay, you gotta give props to me. I did the Rams in 15 seconds.
Fastest rundown goes there. Longest rundown goes to me. 1 minute 9 seconds.
It was 1 minute and 9, right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching.
Let's get into it. Signing off. Gridiron Flash.